Wow, it's a smartphone. Mommy, Dad, thank you so much. Now we can message Akimi.
It's to celebrate you advancing to your second year of middle school. We thought that it was about time, however, we've already limited what you can look at on the net, and we want you to be careful with how you use it, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Hello, darlings, my name is Angelica, but everyone knows me and calls me Angie, so feel free to use that nickname too. Put your hands up if you've already become a regular viewer and you've come back to get to know me better. If that's you, then thank you. If it's your first time watching my episodes, then I would love it if you would go back and watch some other episodes I've appeared in the past. It would mean the world to me, and that way we can get to know each other even better, and I'll treat you to a feast if you come to Angel's Diner. Anyways, this beautiful girl who's holding the phone and looks really excited about messaging her friend is my daughter, Ayame. I'm still raising her with my best friend, Sumide. When I first took her in, she was still just a tiny little baby, but now she's grown so much and become an 8th grader. It feels like only yesterday when she was just crawling around on all fours, but now she's in middle school. Honestly, time really does fly and she keeps on growing. So, Sumide and I decided to buy her a smartphone as a reward for her hard work last year, and also to celebrate her birthday. She's had a regular phone before, but it was just a regular flip phone that didn't have any web functions, and she really only used it to call me or Sumide in an emergency. Kids her age didn't call each other so much, and probably only used apps like Line and WhatsApp to contact each other anyway, so we felt that it was time to upgrade her phone before she started to have problems at school.
I really want to message Akimi, but I want to add your phone numbers first. Can I?
Of course you can. I'm so happy that you said that. Right, Sumire? Isn't that sweet of her? Yeah, you can call us if you need anything, just like before. Remember, don't hesitate to contact us, alright?
Yeah, okay.
In this day and age, when the net has become an integral part of our lives, smartphones are an indispensable tool that can help us to get by everyday life. They're helpful and convenient, but that convenience can also lead to unwanted trouble. They can even become weapons if they're used the wrong way. I hear that getting into trouble on the internet is a common problem among middle schoolers and high schoolers, who are still finding their own way in life. But despite the dangers, it's important to tell our children how to deal with it, and how to use the net properly when they're still young. Otherwise, they might even cause themselves more trouble as an adult. Sumide and I may be worried about what might happen, but for now we've just gotta watch over Ayame and help her when she needs it. Ayame, could you buy some milk on your way home from school? We've run out. Just a few days after we'd given Ayame her new phone, I sent her a message around the time that the class should be finishing. But even after school ended, I didn't get any notification that she had read my message. There was no replying from her, and already I had a bad feeling that something might have happened to her. No, wait, Angie, don't panic. It's probably nothing. She's probably just speaking with her teacher and can't reply. She might be, with her friends and might not have checked her phone yet. Oh my god, was I always this overprotective? Why am I so worried?
Mommy, I'm home.
Ayame, I was so worried about you. I'm glad you're okay.
What? Why?
I messaged you about half an hour ago, asking if you could buy some milk on the way home, but I didn't get a reply and you didn't even look at my message.
Oh, I'm sorry. My battery died while I was at school. I played with it at lunchtime.
Oh, was that it? Thank goodness. Did you forget to charge it last night? Silly you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll make sure to charge it properly. Did you need milk? I'll go and buy it now. Is there anything else you need? You can write me a list.
Don't worry, I've got worried over nothing. I'm glad that you're okay. And then, do you mind buying some bread, bacon, and eggs too? For tomorrow's breakfast. Here's my purse. Take care.
Got it. I'll be right back.
Hey, Angie, we got a delivery to make. Let's get cooking. Angie. Hey, Angie, Angelica, Aitaro! Don't call me by my dead name, dumbass! You finally reacted. What's wrong? You were really deep in thought. Did something happen? Well, the thing is, I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I think I'm just overthinking it. But I feel like Ayame was acting a little weird when she got home. Weird? How? I messaged her just before school finished, and I didn't even get a reply from her, even after school ended. Even though she's been answering up until now, I asked her what happened while she got home, and she said that her battery had died while she was at school, but there's gonna be some days when she doesn't answer straight away. You've just gotta accept that, okay? I know, but it just feels like if it wasn't her battery dying, then it feels like something else that she's not telling me. It's really strange. Then I can't ignore that. Your intuition tends to be right for better or for worse. If you think something is up, then I'll ask Ayame when she comes home. I hope it's nothing. Yeah, that's for the best. Let's do that. I wanted to get this bad feeling to be nothing and get over my overreaction. I hoped that my intuition would be wrong this time, but it wasn't going to be that easy.
I'm back. Here you go.
Thank you, Aya. Why don't you go and wash your hands?
Okay.
She looks pretty normal. That's what worries me even more. When she comes home from school, Ayame washes her hands, leaves her school bag on her desk, and changes out of her uniform. On a regular day, it doesn't even take her more than 10 minutes to come back downstairs to the living room and start watching TV or helping out with dinner. But today, she didn't come back downstairs no matter how long we waited. There was no sign of her moving around either. After a while, I'll go upstairs and see how she's doing. I'll try talking to her, okay? Yeah, I'll leave it to you. I've already decided that I won't butt in at times like this. I may consider Ayame my daughter, but Sumire is her real dad, and this is what he's here for. It's important that Sumire has a chance to be her father for her, and take back the lost time he had with her in the past. I'm here to watch over the both of them and support them when they need me. Hey, Aya! Ayame, can I come in?
What? Dad! Wait, can you give me a minute? It's nothing. I was just watching a video my friend sent me, and it was so sad I couldn't help it. But you don't have to worry.
I haven't asked you why you're crying yet. Ayame, so can I come in? Alright then, how about you just calm down first, and then you can either come downstairs or I can come in, and we can talk about this together. Which do you prefer?
Sorry, Dad. Can I have some time alone? I just want to be by myself right now.
Yeah. How was she? She says that she wants to be left alone today. I didn't go in, but I could tell that she was crying even with the door between us. You were right. She's upset about something. I wish I wasn't. I wonder what happened. She's already a teenager. There's a lot that it could be. But the worst part is that Ayame's the type to overthink things and bottle it all up. She's a kind girl, too. She's probably thinking that she's got to deal with it herself and make sure she doesn't cause any trouble for anyone around her. I hope that she'll talk to us soon. Yeah. The next morning, Ayame woke up like she usually did and left for school like nothing had happened. The only difference was that she didn't seem to want to go. After talking the previous night, Sumire and I had came to an agreement to act as normal as possible too, and wait for Ayame to come to us with her worries when she was ready. So we watched her go, but day by day we could tell that she was smiling less and less, and talking to us less too. She didn't seem to be enjoying anything until finally, her limit had come.
Mommy, can I stay at home today? I don't want to go to school.
She had come downstairs in her pajamas and asked me with a dark expression. It was like she was begging me not to make her go. If this was any other day, I would have been in a flying panic asking if she had a cold or if her tummy hurt or if she was just feeling sick, but this time I didn't have to ask why she wanted to stay home. I knew that she was just exhausted mentally and that there was nothing physically wrong with her. She just needed to rest and take time to recover. Of course you can stay at home, baby. Take the day off, okay?
Really? I can?
Yes, I'm being serious. You haven't been eating all that much recently, have you? You shouldn't force yourself to go if you don't have the strength. Do you think that you can eat something, though? What do you want?
Can I have some creme caramel?
Okay, I'm gonna make you the best cream caramel that you've ever had. You can eat as much as you want. Once I said that, Ayame seemed relieved because she took a seat at the living room table, and her expression looked a lot lighter than it did when she first arrived. I started making her cream caramel, and I wanted to warm up some milk for her to drink while she waited. I set down a mug in front of her and encouraged her to drink it. Here you go, here's some hot milk. If you drink that, your tummy will warm up and then you should feel a little calmer.
It's yummy. Thank you, Mommy.
No problem, honey. Why don't you go back upstairs to sleep? The cream caramel is gonna take some time and you'll need to rest anyways. By the time you wake up again, the cream caramel will be ready to eat.
Okay, I'll go back upstairs.
Ayame didn't want to go to school? What happened? Which little piece of... Shh, you're being too loud, she might hear you. Sumire was already out of state. He had left the previous night for a job and wouldn't be back for a few days. One of our regulars had opened up an Okonimayaki restaurant in the Kansai region, and asked for Sumire to come and help out as the floor staff for their opening night, and Sumire had offered to help out for a bit longer. How am I supposed to stay quiet when my daughter is saying she doesn't want to go to school? That can only mean there's some trouble that she wants to avoid. When I find out who's responsible, I'm gonna... I don't know the details yet, but she just said she didn't want to go, and she looked so tired that I couldn't make her go. She's got bags under her eyes and she looks so pale. I've given her some milk and told her to go back to sleep, but I think she might be still having trouble sleeping. What am I doing here? I've gotta be there for Ayame. I'm gonna get back on the next train. Don't be silly, you already promised you would help out. You're not one to break promises, are you? How's the restaurant going, okay? It's just as busy as we expected it would be. It's been wave after wave of customers right off the bat. They've still got people lined up outside, and it looks like the advertisers they've been putting on social media have been working like a charm. And the people who have already eaten here have added to the posts online, so that's helping too. At the moment, the bomb pancake you came up with is selling the most, and it's everyone's favorite so far. They actually put that on the menu? The okonomiyaki is filled with squid, octopus legs, scallop, and prawn, and rolled into a ball? And people are actually eating that? Yep, they're actually pretty grateful that you came up with it. It's delicious, so it's really worth the price that they put on it. And it's the best seller, so they're making a pretty good profit. Alright, as long as they're happy with it, that's the most important thing. Anyways, you're due to come back the day after tomorrow, right? I'll let you know if something else comes up, so do your best. And you can talk to Ayame when you come home. Yeah, I'm leaving her to you. Thanks for calling, Angie. It sounds like everything's going pretty well over there, and Sumide's occupied, so I don't want to have to worry him about doing anything crazy. Alright, then I better get back to making Ayame's cream caramel. I'm gonna make the best, biggest cream caramel she's ever seen, and put a big smile back on her face.
Ooh, good morning, Mommy.
Hello, Sleeping Beauty. You look a lot more refreshed than you did a few hours ago. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks to the hot milk you gave me. I fell asleep as soon as I got back into bed.
Good. I'm glad that you feel a little bit better. Anyways, why don't you go and wash your face and brush your teeth? I'll get you some cream caramel ready for you to eat.
Okay. Wow, you've never made a creme caramel as big as this before. It looks so yummy. I'm digging in. It's super creamy. You make the best cream caramel in the world, Mommy. No one else can make a cream caramel as delicious as this.
Thank you. This cream caramel recipe has always worked when you're feeling unwell. I'm glad I learned how to make it. I've made this cream caramel dozens of times, ever since Ayame was still a little girl, but it's nothing special, and the taste isn't even that spectacular. But Ayame always praises it and eats it with such a big smile on her face. She's eaten this caramel so many times that it's probably gained a special place inside of her, and she won't eat any other cream caramel. After she ate her fill, I asked her what she wanted to do today, and if she wanted to go out to the park and take a walk, but she told me that she didn't want to go anywhere. Instead, we both went to the diner and she helped me with cleaning up the tables, chairs, and the floors, and helped me to prepare the food for the night. We did as we usually did on the weekends, pretty well, and before we knew it, the day was up. I noticed that Ayame didn't touch her phone for the entire day, and realized that she must have left it in her room. Hey, how's Ayame doing? Is she feeling better? Did she say anything? Whoa, chill! I haven't messaged you yet because nothing has happened. She hasn't said anything and she doesn't look any better or worse. I haven't tried to ask her what's wrong either. I just wanted to take her mind off of things. Right. Oh yeah. Before I forget, I'm coming home tomorrow evening instead of the day after. What? Seriously? What about work? Will they be okay without you? They asked you to come over because they couldn't find anybody. That's all fixed. I asked all the customers that came into the restaurant today if they were interested in working part-time, and I managed to help some 5 new members of the staff. That's more than enough help, so I'm gonna spend tomorrow training them and then come home and see Ayame. Wow, you really are relentless when it comes to your own daughter. You jump into action as soon as you see a chance, but I'm glad that you're coming home sooner. To be honest, Ayame hasn't shown any sign of opening up, and I got a feeling that she's gonna ask to stay home tomorrow morning too. We've gotta deal with this as soon as possible. Yeah, I'll be right back before you know it. Just as I predicted, Ayame told me she didn't want to go to school again, and I let her stay home, and it looked like she hadn't slept at all the previous night because she was dragging her feet and looked like her whole body was made of lead when she came down the stairs. I made her a mug of hot milk and sent her to go back to sleep in her room. She woke up again around midday and spent the day with me at the diner again. We spent the evening watching TV, and she finally went to sleep way past her usual bedtime at 1 in the morning. It was clear, even to me, that this wasn't normal. There was something seriously wrong, and Ayame was suffering, but she wouldn't say anything, so I felt like I shouldn't force her to talk until she was ready, or it would only make things worse. And I stuck to my decision with Sumire that we should just wait for her. On top of that, I may be her adoptive parent, but I'm not biologically related to her, and I've always wondered how much distance I should keep, and how much I'm allowed to stick my nose in. I'm home! Sumire, welcome back! I'm sorry, I ended up coming back on the last train. I wanted to arrive on time to see Ayame, but is she already asleep? Yeah, she fell asleep half an hour ago. I'm gonna go and take a look at her, okay? Yeah, go ahead, but be careful about, don't wake her. She hasn't been able to sleep a lot recently, and so it'll take her a while to fall back asleep. Angie's right, she looks so tired. I wanted to ask her if there's anything bothering her, and listen to all of her worries, but she's still going through puberty. I don't want to say the wrong thing and hurt her when she's still so sensitive. I've got to tread carefully. I don't want to say something that might scar her for the rest of her life, saying something that comes out the wrong way, or making her feel like I'm not on her side. I'm aware that Angie's probably decided to leave these sorts of issues to me. It's probably just Angie's way of being considerate toward me in my position as Ayame's biological father. If you ask me, Angie's just as much of a parent to Ayame as I am, considering the time that she spent with Angie, and the trust that they've built together. Huh? I noticed that a light was flashing next to Ayame's face. It looked like she had left her phone next to her pillow, and there were notifications she hadn't checked. Someone's messaging her at this time of night? Who is it? I was aware that I was doing something wrong, but I resolved to open Ayame's phone and check who was messaging her. It's a good thing we made her promise not to lock her phone when we bought it for her. Well, this sort of situation was exactly the reason why we chose to do that. I opened up her phone and I took a look at where the notifications were coming from. Just as I expected, they were coming from Line, but I didn't expect what I saw next when I opened the chat. Sumire, you took a long time. Were you talking with Ayame? Angie, I want you to take a look at this. What? That's Ayame's smartphone. What are you doing? I don't think that you should... I know, but please, take a look. Alright, hand it over. I gave in to Sumire's grave tone of voice and took Ayame's phone in my hands. I opened up the chat that Sumire had directed me to, but I couldn't believe what was in front of me. No matter how far I scrolled, the screen was filled with one-sided messages from someone who seemed to be Ayame's classmate. And what is this? This can't be real. Who could... All of the messages I read through were insults, curses, and threats, all of a level that I could never expect from a teenager. They were all so disgusting. Even I would have had trouble reading them out, and I spat out my own fair share of curses. After reading through the conversations, Sumire and I could tell that they were all coming from a certain individual in Ayame's class. So, this girl's the reason why Ayame has been so distant recently. I can't believe it. How does a middle school student come up with these kind of threats? How can middle school students like Ayame endure this kind of abuse? I guess we finally know the reason why Ayame didn't answer your Line messages when you asked her to buy milk. It's probably because she had her phone turned off so she wouldn't have to see the notifications that were coming from that girl. If that girl's been messaging her non-stop, then that really is the only way to avoid it. Why is she doing this? Ayame doesn't deserve to be treated like this. What did she ever do to this girl? There's so much I want to ask, but we should probably talk to Ayame before we start assuming things. We'll only make things worse if we don't try and figure out the truth. You're right. Let's talk to her in the morning.
Good morning, Mommy.
Good morning, Aya. Ayame, good morning.
What? Dad, you're home. I thought you wouldn't be back until late this evening.
Yeah, I came back earlier because I was worried about you.
What? But I'm fine. I'm going to school today. I'm okay.
Ayame began to panic, and before we could go upstairs, Sumire placed Ayame's phone on the table in front of her.
My phone!
I'm sorry. I know that you might not like it, but I took a look at the phone. I went to check on you around 2 in the morning last night, and you were still getting new messages even at that time, so I wanted to see who it was. Ayame, I want you to talk to us. You can talk to us about anything, and whether it's something you feel hurt by or if it's something bothering you, or something you want advice on. You don't have to deal with everything by yourself. What are parents for if we don't help you when you need it?
Dad!
All of a sudden, the brave face dropped from Ayame's expression, and she just clung onto Sumire looking so tired, and Sumire held onto her, rubbing her back the entire time.
Okegawa added me online really suddenly. I didn't know what to do, so I added her back, but she started sending me really horrible messages. I've never spoken to her before, so I didn't know why. It was so scary. I didn't reply to her and just stopped looking at Line, but then she and her friends started being mean to me at school. They were ignoring me during class, and I didn't want to look at my phone or go to school anymore. It was so scary. I don't know why they're doing it.
Why didn't you tell us sooner? We could have helped.
But I was scared. If I told you...
It's too difficult to say, isn't it? I know. Angie. You're not alone, Ayame. I got bullied when I was middle school for being a weirdo, a creep, for not being normal, just because I wanted to wear makeup and enjoy fashion. And people were a lot harsher towards people like me when I was still in school. But I couldn't say anything to anyone. No matter how horrible people were to me, no matter what I did or said, it was just embarrassing. I was embarrassed that I was being bullied. I hated myself for being so pathetic, for not knowing how to deal with them on my own, and I didn't want anyone to know that I was a victim of bullying. I couldn't tell anyone, even if it killed me. You felt the same way, didn't you, Ayame? You were embarrassed and ashamed, and you didn't want anyone to think that you were pathetic. You thought that Sumire and I would be disappointed in you for being bullied, for not being able to do something about it on your own, didn't you?
Yeah, because I don't want you to hate me. I don't want you or Dad to hate me. I don't want you to be upset with me. I don't want to disappoint you. That's why I thought...
Don't be an idiot. No matter what happens, no matter what you do, I will never hate you. Angie and I would never hate you. We both love you. It's impossible for us to be disappointed in you, trust me. You don't have to worry about it, okay? So let's just forget about your smartphone. You don't have to look at it until we sorted everything out. It's not worth suffering for, alright?
Yeah!
And don't forget that not everyone is sending you horrible messages online. If you try and deal with the things alone, you'll end up distancing yourself from the people important to you too.
What do you mean?
Look at this. You've got an unread message from Akemi. You didn't notice because you were too focused on the bad things.
Oh, you're right. Hey, Ayame. How are you doing? You've been acting a little strange, so I thought I'd message you and ask what was wrong. We haven't spoken much since we were put into different classes this year, so I was kind of worried. Is there something happening in your class that's bothering you? If there is, then I wish you'd tell me. I'll help if I can. I don't want to go to your classroom if you don't want me to, so let me know online when you're free to meet up. I'd be really happy if you would message me. I'm waiting for you to reply to me. We could talk on here, or we can meet up when you have time. Akemi.
There's a lot of people who love you and care for you. Don't forget about them because there's one or two people who are unreasonably mean to you, okay?
Yeah, I won't.
I'm really sorry. I should have noticed that there was bullying in my classroom sooner.
It's not your fault, Teach. But the problem is that it's been going on for a while and it needs to stop. We've saved screenshots of the messages Ayame's been getting, so I'd like to visit school soon and talk about what we can do from here on out. Do you think that you could set up an appointment?
Of course, we'll do whatever it takes to end this bullying, and we'll take full responsibility for the health and safety of our students. Please don't worry about that. But there's one thing that I would like to talk to you about, or for you to do for me, if possible.
What is it?
If it's possible, could you...
Homepoo, lunch is going to be ready soon.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, I wonder who that is.
Excuse me, Mr. Okagawa. I'm here on the behalf of the Tanaka family. Here's my business card.
Huh? What? You're a lawyer? Why?
Luckily for us, Ayame's teacher advised us that we should take a lawyer with us if we were going to visit Okagawa's household. He said that we would be at the advantage if we did, so we followed his advice and we had our lawyer go with Sumire to go visit the Okagawas. We managed to hire the best lawyer with the help of Akemi's father, Mr. Tojo, who also happened to be a regular at Angel's Diner. And when we asked him for help, he told us that he knew a brilliant lawyer and that he was kind enough to introduce us to him the day after we called the school. Armed with the evidence that Onpu Okagawa was bullying Ayame, Sumire and the other lawyers advanced into the enemy territory and spoke with Onpu's mother. When she read the reason why we had turned up at her home, Miss Okagawa was shocked, and she seemed to have no idea that her daughter was a bully. And when she saw what her daughter had sent to Ayame, Miss Okagawa went completely pale, and even went as far as to slap her own daughter's face.
It's not true. I haven't done anything like that. They're lying. I've got to delete the conversation before they take my phone.
Don't even think about deleting anything. You've already saved screenshots of all the messages that you sent to our daughter, and we got Ayame's phone backed up too. Miss Okagawa, here's this chat. It's all one-sided messages from your daughter to mine. This is the kind of stuff my daughter's been dealing with this past couple of weeks. There are comments about the way she looks, about her personality, about me, and her adoptive mother. There was even a suggestion that she shouldn't be alive. My daughter was bearing with this alone ever since she got her first smartphone a few weeks ago, and it's all your daughter's fault.
How could you do something so cruel, Onpu? Why did you do this? You wouldn't be able to take it if someone did the same to you, would you? What got into you?
But she was being friendly with my Bashi. I liked him first.
What? My Bashi?
She's in the student committee with my bashi, and they're always talking and going home together. It's not fair. I like my bashi. She can't have him. I told her that she can't talk with him because I like him, but she wouldn't listen. It's all her fault. She should have left the committee like I told her to.
It was a love triangle drama typical of teenagers in high school, but that wasn't a good enough reason to make someone feel like they were worthless and threaten them like she had been doing to Ayame. When Sumire had finished speaking, the bully's mother burst into tears and wouldn't stop apologizing for her daughter's behavior, and once she had calmed down, she promised in front of our lawyer that she would pay the compensation due to Ayame, and have her daughter change schools so Ayame wouldn't have to suffer any longer.
Mr. Tanaka, it's become official that Anpu will be transferring schools. There's still some time until her family moves, but she took the initiative to take time off school so she wouldn't bother Ayame anymore. Also, the girls that were taking Anpu's side and ignoring Ayame with her at school will also be disciplined. Their parents have also been notified, and they are due to come into school and talk to the principal to decide what will happen to them. And I'm also very sorry that the teachers in charge of Ayame's class didn't realize and take action sooner, before she had to take time off to recover.
No, it's fine. I'm just glad the school didn't do anything like stay silent about the bullying to defend their reputation. I'm grateful for what you've done ever since you found out, and you were in charge of Ayame's class in her first year. I'm relieved that we have a teacher who we can trust in her second year too, and I don't have to worry about her too much if you're ever looking out for the students the way you do.
Thank you for saying that. It really does change everything to hear that a parent trusts us with their children. And just to let you know, Ayame is free to come back to school when she's comfortable, and she can always start coming back to school straight away anyways and talk to the school psychologist before attending lessons if she wants to. We'll support her choice, and we'll make sure that she has all the tools she needs to keep up with her lessons while she's off.
Great. I'll talk to Ayame later and see what she wants. For 1 week after the cause of the problem was dealt with, Ayame spent her time at home, but we were lucky that her teacher was willing to come and visit her and homeschool her. She even went and had visits from her friends, and thanks to that effort from everyone around her, Ayame finally got her smile back and decided that she wanted to return to school as early as next week to get back into lessons and enjoy her school life. The biggest factor in her decision was probably that Akame offered to go with her to school every morning, all the way to her classroom, and now Ayame knows that she's not alone and that there are lots of people willing to do a lot to help her. I never imagined my own child would get bullied, but it's all because of these types of actions that are sorted out under the word bullying. It's not good enough. People should say it's libel, slander, and reputation damage and assault. Call it by the crime is what we should do. It wouldn't keep on happening if children understood that exactly what is going on and realized that it's actually causing harm to other people. Yeah, I think you're right. But it's a good thing that the boy's mom was a decent enough person to understand how much harm it caused Ayame, and it showed that she wanted to teach her daughter how to be better. I got one phone call from Miss Okagawa after they moved, and she assured me that they're living so deep in the countryside that their daughter barely has any access to the internet. She also told me that they've gone on relying on their neighbors to be relied on to get by in the area they're living in, so she hopes that her daughter can learn the importance of community while respecting other people while they're living there. Yeah, that's one good thing that came out of all this. It really is relieving that her mother is responsible enough to want to help her daughter to change. I feel a lot better hearing that. Yeah, me too.
Mommy, Dad, I'm home.
Welcome home, Aya.
Akemi says that she wants to come and play here today. So, Mommy, I was wondering if you make us some creme caramel?
Cream caramel? Sure thing. I don't mind, but do you feel unwell?
I'm fine. I just wanted Akemi to try it. I told her how it makes me feel a lot better to eat the creme caramel you make when I feel sick or sad, and she said she wanted to try it out.
Aya, you said that? You sweetheart. Of course I'll make some. I'll make you a bucket full. I'll make so much that you'll burst.
Yay! We can have a creme caramel party.
I didn't give birth to her, and it's not like we're blood related, and Sumire and I are best friends from way back. And I only met Ayame because he brought her to me when she was a baby. But that doesn't matter. Ayame is my daughter, and I wish for her to be happy and healthy every single day. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that she doesn't lose that beautiful smile, even if it means making her cream caramel for the rest of her life.